Well, welcome back to the A for J podcast for students by students. I'm Scott, and I got two guests with me today. I've got Lydia and I got Grace with me, and we're going to talk about a few things today. In fact, we're going to do a couple of, you might want to kind of tune in, look forward to the next 2 or 3 podcasts we're going to do, because we're going to talk to these girls about a few things. And I got some really good stuff to say, I think. Do you have good stuff to say?
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah. So we're going to talk about bullying today. We're talking about, we've got this real issue going on. It's nothing new. Bullying's been going on forever. And I'm going to say this, and I don't want y'all to get mad at me. Don't bully me over this. But it seems girls are worse than guys about bullying each other. Y'all think that's true? Why do you think people want to make other people feel bad? Why do they want to pick on and make other people feel bad? What do you think is their motivation?
Normally it's to make themselves feel better. Mm-hmm.
You think so? You think it's a self-esteem issue? Yeah. Like, do you think it's a conscious thing? Like, I don't feel good about myself, so I'm gonna pick on, Lydia? Or do you think that's really what goes on, or do you think it's something deeper than that?
It's probably like from what they're getting at home, and then they just like project it on other people.
Oh, so I have a saying. Tell me what you think about this. Trauma produces drama. What do you think? So when somebody's got something going on with their lives they can't control, they want to externalize it, project it on somebody else, and bully. Do you know anybody that's been bullied? Maybe give me some examples of that. How does that play out? Long pauses don't help on a podcast. That's me bullying them. Do you know someone that's been bullied and how it's played out? Let me tell you the story like this. This week, and I don't know when you're watching this, but this week in Cuero, a young lady, 16-year-old, took her life. And one of the reasons she took her life is she broke it with her boyfriend, and that's something we could talk about that. And then also she was being bullied by another girl. That's kind of extreme, isn't it, to go to that level? Do you know anybody that's been perpetually bullied or ostracized or pushed out or belittled? Do you know anybody that's happened to? Or maybe it's happened to you.
I'm not sure.
I was definitely bullied a lot more in middle school than high school.
Yeah.
But I think girls are a lot more immature in middle school most of the time.
Well, yeah.
A lot more insecure. And then I've definitely seen people get bullied, or girls specifically, all throughout middle school and high school.
Yeah, it seems, like I said, it seems like guys are just more prone to violence and doing things they're physically. Bullying girls are mental in their words and their actions and their looks. And one of the things that will let you guys know about this, girls are far more complex than guys. Duh. Part of it is that their brains are connected on both spheres where guys aren't. Testosterone's destroyed connectors between the guy's left side and right side of the brain. So girls don't have that, so they're able to be more aware. They're more aware relationally and socially and physically and visually. They're just more aware than guys. Guys aren't, and it's not diminishing guys or girls. It's just the way biology works. And because girls are more aware, they can look at each other and give signals that guys never pick up on. Like, you'll never hear a guy say, gosh, you see the way he was looking at me? No, we don't see that. Girls say that a lot. They pick up on the vibrations. Their amygdala, which is a piece of their brain, is far more sophisticated than a man's brain. So bullying to you guys is not just physical, but it's relational. It's metaphysical. It's almost like this aura in the air that comes across, and it makes you really, like I was teasing you earlier about your hair. I said, what's up with your hair? And nothing was up with your hair. But what did that do to you? What did that plant in your mind?
Well, it looked pretty bad after work earlier, so I kind of believed you. I was like, oh gosh, let me put it back.
Yeah, but your hair's fine. And the thing is that the power of suggestion can lead to a false impression. Mm-hmm. That sounds like something on a motto at Hobby Lobby, isn't it? The power of suggestion can lead to a false impression. Mm-hmm. It could be a sign. So, Grace, you just graduated from high school, right?
Yes.
And you're going into college and you want to be a vet, right? That's kind of your goal. And you want to do something of that nature too. Mm-hmm. So you guys are just going to be horsing around in school, right? It's a bad joke. Just want to dog you with something. It could be catastrophic. But anyway, enough animal jokes. Grace, you're going to go into a job, and of course you, Lydia, as well. It's going to be highly competitive, struggling. You're going to have to face your fears. Does bullying become a part of that? Or does it keep you from being what you're supposed to be? How's that going to work with you? How's it going to work with your psyche? What can you do to guard your heart against external pressure from other people or even internal pressure from yourself? What can you do to guard your heart and guard your heart from bullying? What can you do?
I mean, like, whenever you're getting bullied, it's normally lies that people are telling you, so you just have to know yourself and your own worth.
Yeah.
I guess, instead of listening to what other people want to make of you. Because you know you're made in God's image, not other people's.
So, okay, so what I hear you saying is that you got to fill your mind with truth so you could tell the difference between a truth and a lie. What do you think about that, Lydia? Is that good advice?
I think that's good. I think whenever people are starting to feel like threatened by someone else, or like, oh, this person might be getting better at me in this aspect, or like growing more than maybe, let's say, like that person is, then I think that's whenever they start, like, sometimes I don't think it's intentional. Like, sometimes I think they unintentionally, tear someone down just to, like, build them up, whenever in reality it's making them look lower than...
And, you know, that's something that I struggle with, because I like to tease people and to pick on people, and it's not bullying. My heart's not bullying, but it can make you like the deal with your hair today. It can make you feel less than and diminished. So I think I need to be careful with my words. And then I also need to be careful accepting words from others in a way that I'm offended. Now, do you think being easily offended could go along with, I'm being bullied, when you're just really being too sensitive?
Mm-hmm.
So how do you guard yourself? What do you do? And how do you guard someone? For example, I told about a guy that I really wasn't nice to, and he thought I loved him deeply, and I was just being a bully to him. And how do you guard yourself from looking down on someone that's struggling, you know, either physically or emotionally or socially? How do you guard yourself from that? What do you put in your heart to guard you from being someone that is a bully?
One thing I like to do is, like, if someone says something to me that I'm, like, taken back by or, like, offended by, or if I see someone do something, I'm like, why would they do that? I always try to, like, put myself in their shoes from their point, like, look at it from their point of view and be like, okay, why did they say this? What are they going through right now? Because it's easy to just, like, overlook that and just, like, it's not like you guys have the same brain and thoughts. And
right. So be aware of yourself, and be aware of yourself socially as well. There's several levels of awareness I think we have to project, and that's and this is maybe a little complicated for teenagers, but tell me what you think. You have to be, first of all, self-aware. So aware of yourself, you know, what's going on in your heart, your life, your mind, what's going on in you. Then you have to be socially aware, what's going on in others around you. Like when you travel to foreign cultures, you have to pay attention to what you may not think is creepy. To them, it's really creepy. For example, if you show the bottom of your foot to someone in the Middle East, it's like giving them the finger. Oh. Yeah, see, you didn't know that. So you'd go across your leg, show people with your foot all the time. They're going, she's the rudest girl in the world. And you're just crossing your legs. So it's that being socially aware. And then the next awareness is really being presentation aware. How do you come across? How do you come across? Like I was thinking this morning when I was getting dressed, what kind of shirt should I put on? Because I wanted to come across, you know, not stuffy, but not, you know, grungy. And a podcast, I wanted to come across relational. So you have to think about, how am I going to present myself? And both of y'all have presented yourselves beautifully today. You've done a great job with that. And so presentation, but that also means, how do you speak? How do you articulate? What do you say? How do you do? And then the final awareness, and I'm sure there's more, but I'm a preacher, so I have 4. So the fourth one is team awareness. How are we working together? How are we accomplishing the things we put together to make us more effective? So socially, self-aware, socially aware, presentation aware, team awareness. Maybe that starts dealing with your inner bully. I can't control you, but I can control me. And what I can choose is to be someone who builds people up and not tears them down. Mm-hmm. And when I see people being torn down, I can be a rescuer, a barrier between them and the bully. Does that sound intimidating to you at all, or do you think I could do that?
I mean, I feel like that's what we normally do in our lives, or maybe not normally, but it's like already like in our heart to stand up for people who need it and to not tear people down. I mean, we have free will, but it's like...
Yeah. What do you think, a wise one? Lydia with the beautiful hair.
That like, even if sometimes you're not trying to come across like a bully, like just being very aware of yourself as well as others.
So let's make a deal, okay? If I come across like a jerk, will you call me on it? Will you say, hey, Pastor Scott, you're...
If it's like necessary, I don't know, it's kind of scary.
You're so sweet. It's hard for you, Grace, but Lydia, I know you definitely could.
Maybe.
Yeah. So the thing is that we have to watch over one another, and we have to watch over the vulnerable among us. And so that's what God wants us to do, is to watch over one another. And the Greek word is episkopos. I know everybody's waiting for that word. It means to oversee. But we also have to oversee or watch out for the vulnerable among us, and to make sure that everyone is seen in the image of God. And social media is such a problem. So don't post. Don't wade into the drama, because trauma produces trauma, and most people are dealing with trauma. The more overt the drama is, the greater the trauma is. So what do you think? Any last words? Don't be a bully. And don't be bullied. And I hope this helps. A for J, all for Jesus, for students by students, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.